Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Ready to take it to the end. They're ready for the War Summit. They're ready to seal a bit more of our fate. Although perhaps our fate was sealed already. Sometimes you never know. Moved a bunch of wires around. I moved my mic from my left side to the right side. So I hope we're doing well on mic levels. And what do we have there? What's happening, Jared? Alright, I'm going to do a real quick HDMI poll. The stream stays up. This will take 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds here. Alright, it's been a while since we had any audio popping issues. If that persists, it's just a quick cable pull fix, but gonna keep an eye on that. So Jared, we did finish the gargoyles last night, but we never killed the Andrega Queen, so we were unable to do, well, I'll show you. We're missing one ingredient for deciphering the final code. So we technically finished the gargoyle contract, but we were not able to decipher the book. Which book was that? I also spent an ungodly amount of time going back to that big room of named NPCs and just trying to kill them all. I did think that there was an end to them. I didn't think they were respawning. I didn't assume that named NPCs would respawn, and eventually we saw some of the named NPCs showing back up again. So, yeah, we went down in here and tried to clear that room. I think we spent an hour yesterday just killing all of them again and again. Yep, the rare ingredients for the encrypted message. We are one short. And it's the Andrega Queen. So I think it's done. We just can't do it. What was it here? An encrypted manuscript. We have 3 out of the 4 ingredients, and the one we're missing is the Andrega Queen. So, next playthrough. And that's about it. Sorcerer's Summit. A summit of mages. I don't think we used them. I don't think we got them. I think the Andrega contract is one of those early ones we never finished. We got the contract late. We didn't make sure to finish it. In fact, I remember... Let me look again. I remember vaguely abandoning it. Walking away from Flotsam thinking, we'll let that one go. There it is. Never finished Neckers, never finished Andregas. So, I assume the queen would have popped out at some point there. Before we go anywhere tonight, let's do a little check on potions. We're good on weight. I know we dumped everything from our inventory. Several others along the way. Maybe we should double check our bank, but no, I don't think we have the Andrega Queen. Too bad this isn't alphabetized. We definitely don't have the item on us, but we did check the bank. I'm pretty sure we don't have it. We'll go that way. We'll go back by the bank. We'll craft a few things as needed. From what you were saying last night, we are close to the end. Depending on how well or how poorly we play and how much time we spend on dialogue, this could be over in half an hour, this could be over in an hour, but it's not going to take all night. So one big question is what we're playing next, because 6 hours. Play 6 hours tonight, and only 1 or 2 is Witcher. What are we gonna play? I'm personally leaning towards Bloodborne. I'll post a link here. I put up a small straw poll. Can you alphabetize on the all items menu though? So small straw poll. That straw poll doesn't have to be the deciding factor, but would like a little feedback. Thinking about what game to play that's not going to take a week. Don't know what will be the next long game. Maybe the next long game will be The Witcher 3. I don't have it yet. I have to pick that up. But Bloodborne. We could do Bloodborne. That'll be 2 days, maybe 3. Special. BioShock 2, and Dying Light. So I've played all of those, but 4 symbols on the right are for resorting your items. Four symbols on the right. On the left. Yeah, I was wondering if it was those little ones. I see those little ones. I also don't know how to select them. Bumpers, move here. Triggers, don't do anything. D-pad doesn't select it. So I'm not actually sure how to change that with the controller, but let's see. I guess we could... And if you're in controller mode and you use the mouse, you don't actually get to see your cursor. You just get to see things highlight. So, okay. I get it though. Hourglass time, most recent. So if we're on all items, the most recent acquisition should be on top. That's fine. We're near the end of the game. Shouldn't matter too much.
It's a brazen attack. King...
At least this is alphabetized already. So we have Andrega, embryo, hide, jaw, saliva, teeth, venom, but no pheromones. So that's too bad. Is there anything else we want to bank while we're here? We cannot bank Seltkirk's armor. I think we already, maybe we didn't upgrade our armor, most recent armor, so we could do that. Whetstones, why don't we make a couple more whetstones? Huh, now we only started like 5 minutes early. What happened before S7? Did the stream actually go down? I was playing around with different browsers, but looked like the stream went offline. I couldn't find it again. I'm guessing you just ended up taking a break. 9 cat, 11 oriole, 6 rook. Let's make a couple more rook and maybe tawny owls. Consider swapping out the trophy we're wearing. Big lightning. We're having some storms here too in Colorado. Actually, looks like the sun's back out, but it was torrential rain just a few minutes ago. Yeah, you sounded in a good mood. That was fun. People were having a good time. That always makes it more fun. Alright, so our inventory's good. Let's check that trophy. So we are using a +5 armor, +55 vitality trophy. I don't think we want to switch to a +7 armor, 20 vitality. I don't know. Seems about the trade-off doesn't seem exceptionally interesting.
The audacity!
Pull yourself together!
Really, action cannot be performed in the tavern. Well, that's better. And that's even better. Okay. I haven't had enough chance to use it. Haven't had enough chance to use it, but I like it a lot. And we did upgrade him. That's right, you were here. We compromised. We couldn't make everything we wanted. So we put fire runes. In fact, we're still one short. We could put another fire rune in that sword. And we should do that, and we should upgrade our armor with whatever we've got.
Oh, shut up.
So what do we have? What do we have? Steel plate. Oh, Vran. When did we get that? Well, yes. Let's use the Vran armor enhancement. Vitality, armor, bleeding resist. You suggested magic wrap. +2 armor, that's nice. Damage bonus on signs. Again, we're not getting a lot from our signs, but... So +2 and 111, or +2 and damage bonus on signs. Let's go with that. Magic wrap. So we're going to drop the other 2 in the bank. And we need another fire rune. Something. Oh, thanks, Lamia. Yeah, still deciding on what to play next. And we'll be playing something else tonight. I mean, we'll be playing 3 or 4 or 5 hours of something else tonight. Witcher is not going to take that long. From what I've been told, we're almost done. It might be a long end, but it's not going to be that long. We should play a little dice poker with someone for old time's sake. Especially if there's no more Yahtzee, since that's Yahtzee. It was news to me. Hey, maybe we'll just buy one of those fancy runes. Start a day later, do opposite shifts. Yeah, we could do some switch hitting. How much is that? Oh yeah, we're buying one of those. Thinking about starting it. Well, I don't know. Might start it on, if I get it, might start it on Friday or Saturday. If I don't get it by this weekend, I probably won't start it for 10 days or so. My mother is coming to visit. I'm going to pick her up from the airport on Sunday, and she'll be here for 6 days. I might wait until after she leaves to start The Witcher. She knows on streaming that I'll be keeping this schedule, but I'm not sure I want to start The Witcher while she'll be here. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, exactly. I think going from Witcher to Witcher is a bit of a burnout. I don't want to burn out. I want to enjoy Wild Hunt. So taking a week off is probably what I'll do from The Witcher, not from streaming. Really? We did that again. Of course we did. Love these menus. Love them. Yes, rune, good. Let's go drop the rest in the bank. What do we need? Whetstones. We do need some more whetstones. Streaming, yeah. Yeah.
Flog your lecherous
Sure.
bodies.
Honey, why can't I come in? Knock, knock, knock. Yeah. I don't even have a door on my bedroom. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know what my mother will do while I'm streaming, but she'll be able to hear through the walls, through the open door. Why are you shouting? Is everything okay? What's wrong? Why are you cursing? What are we doing? Whetstones. Isn't this where we make whetstones? Can't we make whetstones? Maybe we can't make whetstones. I thought we could make whetstones. Guess we've never made any. Well, let's just buy weapon upgrades. Whoever's got what. What else are we gonna spend our money on?
Moaning and writhing and begging.
Maybe there isn't one. Oil, rune, dust. Formula for blade oil. Maybe not for whetstones. Spectra oil, we got that one. That's, yeah, I had this idea that I would bounce back and forth from a blind game to something that isn't. I'm not going to be real firm about that, but that's kind of my idea. We'll go back and forth, play something blind, play something familiar. It's why the 3 games on the poll are Bloodborne and BioShock 2 and Dying Light. I only played Dying Light recently. If I had known I was going to start streaming, I would have saved it. But I didn't. You don't think the Andrega pheromones are on a vendor somewhere? I know it's a special item, but they wouldn't have it on a vendor, would they? Filter trolls, books. Well, maybe we won't get any more whetstones. Check the barkeep, see if the barkeep has any. Wow. No, I didn't know that there was any kind of condition, wear and tear on weapons. I'm fine with that, I think. I usually like that in games if it's not overdone. Like Dark Souls 2 was stupid in terms of weapon wear and tear. Really badly. So badly that after the game was out for more than a year, they patched it to change its behavior. Some of it was a bug, some of it was by design. But it was terrible all around. Alright, sword upgrade, we'll keep that. Hangman's Venom, 8 of them, yep. Insectoid oil, sure. Magic Wrap, we're done with. Steel Plate Enhancement, we're done with. Potions, we got what we've got. Books don't weigh anything. Gargoyle Trophy in the bank. Yeah, that would be okay if you had items you carry with you to repair. Or even if you had to stop in with NPCs. I think we're as prepared as we're gonna be.
Off your hats. Turn away the... And the bat.
Yeah, that would be an important question too. If they hit 0, are they just toast? Or can you still bring them back?
Likewise.
Shadows of Mordor. You'll love Shadows of Mordor. I have a feeling. S7, you will love Shadows of Mordor. I haven't tried Rise yet, but I've played Shadows. It's great. I've only done one playthrough. That would be another good one to play. We could always do Shadows of Mordor. I didn't put it on the poll, but that's another option. Kind of want to go from The Witcher to something action-y that won't take a week.
Leave
Something
the
that
road,
might
folks.
only take 2 or 3
Pour
days.
venom into rulers' ears no more.
I haven't played either of those. And from some of our discussions, I realized not everyone's a fan of Dark Souls. not everyone here is a fan of Dark Souls, but I do love it, and Bloodborne is a little more accessible. So that's what I'm leaning personally towards. We don't have to play Bloodborne next, but there's a good chance we'll go from Witcher into Bloodborne tonight. Unless you all change my mind. Feel free to do that. Suggest other things. That poll doesn't have to be the only 3 options. Convince me. Convince me of something else, and we will play something else.
It's not too late to repent.
But I don't want to start a week-long game tonight. I think starting something that's a 2 or 3 day game, something under 20 hours would be a good game to start tonight. All right, quick little recap. Let's see where we're at in the story before we walk into the end. There may not be much here. In fact, these have gotten shorter as we approach the end. The story of the Assassins of Kings ended in Loch Moine. But before the conclusion arrived, a series of unexpected events took place. If you wish to know more about Letho, the power that stood behind him, and the motives which had spurred his nefarious deeds, be patient and listen. We rescued Triss. We did finally rescue Triss. Now, she ran off. She ran off again, because Triss. But we found the actual Triss, not the statue this time. We found the actual Triss. Chained up. How's it going, Darky? Welcome, welcome. And in order to do that, we had to leave Saskia. Well, yes, but more precisely, we had to leave Philippa in the dungeons after they pried her eyes out with a blade. And Philippa wanted our help to go rescue Saskia. We would have needed Philippa's help to go break the curse on Saskia. Though, she was the one who put that there in the first place. She wanted a little pet dragon. She wanted a pet dragon, so she did that to Saskia. And there she was with her eyes pried out, asking for our help to go save Saskia. And that would have been for a higher cause. However, when it was laid bare what our choice was, we can walk away from our friend, we can abandon our friend, Triss, for the higher cause, for the greater good. We couldn't walk away from our friend. She didn't want to, but we were going to force her. That also makes sense. With a spoon. Was that a spoon? So, I didn't realize that was a spoon. That's horrible. Prince of Thieves. Anyone remember that? Well, if you put it on stream, I'll watch you I will watch you play Geralt the Dick. I think we've been a dick to some extent. And we certainly showed no mercy with Cynthia last night. So, Geralt had acquired another piece of the puzzle. In talking to the imprisoned Philippa, he learned that Sheila de Tanserville had hired the Assassins of Kings on behalf of a secret organization known as the Lodge of Sorceresses. The magicians, however, had underestimated Letho's treacherous nature and lost control over him. Interestingly, Triss Marigold had also been a member of the Lodge, at least until the other sorceresses had stopped trusting her. Other revelations were not long in coming. Yeah, there's so much gray. You're always a bit of a dick. Alone on a sorcerer's summit, the Witcher would feel like a raftsman on a declamation contest. Luckily, Triss Marigold awaited him at the amphitheater's entrance. No, I don't know what the option was. When the option was to get with Cynthia. All I know is when she asked for our help, when it became clear she's the one who put the compression magic on Triss, yeah, she was done. That was it. Off with her head. Cynthia is dead. No mercy. No mercy. In fact, we failed that quest, the Secrets of Lochmuin. We failed it head first with a smile in order to take Cynthia out of this world for what she's done.
In a hurry to see the deliberations?
Here on urgent business.
Your dress seems to confirm it. Excuse you indeed. I suppose I couldn't much care. I've heard what I came to hear.
And what, pray tell, was that?
The rightful heir will ascend to the Aedirnian throne. There will be peace in the land. What more could one want?
Prince Stennis is here?
King Stennis. Crowned 2 days past in Vengerberg. Merely send a messenger here. All those present promptly agreed that he will make a good ruler.
Prince Stennis. A poisoner, coward, and schemer. He trembled with disgust when he spoke to the peasants. Disdain flowed from him like vomit. But he didn't deserve to be lynched. That was not the justice Saskia fought for. Prince Stennis I, son of Demavend III, became the 17th king of Aedirn. He won the hearts of the people. They saw him as the hope of the nation. The realm, ravaged by war, needed a ruler sensitive to the plight of his subjects. King Stennis I was just that.
Oh, the armor. Yep, we found a nice piece of armor. Not entirely clear on where it came from. Armor of Vicovaro. It's pretty nice though, and it looks good. Nice resist, 50% incineration, bleeding, poisoning, and then we had a bonus to the bleeding resist. Solid. Solid.
Good that you're here. We don't have much time.
Seems
Triss,
like
you're
we never
bleeding.
do.
First, we have to get by the guards.
Leave that to me.
Be careful.
I'm always careful.
Defeat the soldiers. Well, we're good at that. Defeating soldiers, that's what we do. So what's with that bar? Is it the sword? With the silver sword out or no sword out, we have 4 bars for signs, but with... So what is it about this sword that gives us an extra bar? Huh. Do you see anything about this sword that would explain why it gives us an extra bar for casting? Oh, vigor. Is that vigor? That's the vigor bar. Vigor +1. I did not. See, we're still learning. End of the game, we're still learning some basic mechanics. That +1 vigor is a whole nother chunk on the bar, huh?
The Kingslayer! Get him!
Actually, today we're just the Night Slayer. You first.
Might have tried to reason with them.
They didn't want to reason.
Easier this way. Trust me.
Path's clear. Can we go?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Everything will be revealed at last.
I know Geralt... Geralt, I haven't done that too much since the first Witcher. I know Geralt says things simply.
Whether you like it or not, John
Sometimes
Natalis,
he says exactly what's in my
Temeria
head.
will be divided.
For the good of the entire North.
The united forces of Kedwin and Redania will end the fighting among the Elder Houses and secure peace from Gorsvelen to Ellendar. At present, Temeria is starting to resemble the Pontar Valley.
Which, if I understand correctly, is currently controlled by Aedirn.
You are mistaken, Radovid. Vergen is free.
Free? What precisely does that mean?
Lormark is not Kedwin's, and Aedirn no longer controls Upper Aedirn. We have rejected Prince Stennis.
King Stennis.
and handed King Henselt's army a resounding defeat.
Your forces, my dear lass, are nothing but a motley array of rebellious peasants and elven brigands. Sooner or later, they will need to swear allegiance to someone, or they will be defeated and dispersed.
The peoples of the Pontar Valley will swear allegiance to me, Queen Saskia. As an independent realm, we hereby speak in favor of reconstituting the Council and Conclave.
You're a lovely girl, but you issue from common stock. The sole crown you are worthy of donning is a wreath woven of wildflowers. Redania will recognize no other coronation.
In that case, you must choose, King Radovid. Will you carve up Temeria, or march on the Pontar Valley? Henselt, last of the line of the Unicorns, has sworn to recognize the Pontar Valley as a free realm. Philippa Eilhart witnessed it.
Philippa Eilhart is in my dungeon, awaiting trial for treason.
She was in your dungeon, Radovid, but is no longer. She will sit at my side in Bergen as my royal advisor.
To the matter at hand. The document describing the charter of the Council and the Conclave is, as previously ascertained, an exact copy of the charter found in the ruins on Thanet Island. The more important question relates to the Conclave and its power to designate royal advisors. Today, randomly chosen mages and sorceresses reside at many courts. However, in the time of the previous Conclave, such persons were carefully chosen.
Why shouldn't we pick our own advisors?
These individuals bear great responsibility, Your Majesty. The Conclave needs to be certain they are competent.
And that they will keep the Conclave's interests in mind.
Obviously, sire. The Conclave's chief interest is the well-being and prosperity of the northern kingdoms. The document has been signed by every member of the Conclave we have proposed, as well as by all but one of the designated advisors. We await only Sheila de Tanserville's signature.
The puppet
Without our
master.
royal seals, you should be allowed to designate advisors to cowherd at most.
That is true, Your Majesty.
Sheila de Tanserville should never be allowed to sign this document.
Triss Merigold, you decided to join us after all.
De Tanserville has royal blood on her hands. She can't sit on the Conclave.
That is a lie.
Have you anything to support these claims, Merigold?
There are witnesses who will confirm that Sheila de Tanserville was behind the assassinations of Demavend and Foltest.
Officials of the future Council and Conclave. Sheila de Tanserville should be arrested and tried. If Triss Merigold speaks the truth, Lady de Tanserville will be
she's not gonna let that
condemned to
happen.
death.
Something tells me. For an asshole, Stennis at least has his head screwed on. It's generally straight.
Sheila de Tanserville, until Triss Merigold's charges are dismissed or refuted, you cannot sit.
She's not going to tolerate this.
Arrest her.
That might be a hope. She's not going to be okay with this. No way.
You don't know the whole truth.
Wait,
Marigold doesn't
I
know
know
what
they
she's
said-
talking about.
I know they weren't calling him Stennis, but wasn't that Stennis? That's Radovid. Okay, yeah, I thought... Yeah, sorry about the name mix-up there. Not Stennis. Maybe it was the neck plate that, what's-his-name had been wearing before. Not Stennis. Is that Saskia dragon or a different dragon? How the hell did Sheila get control of the dragon? If Philippa had control of the dragon, how did Sheila get control of the dragon? Or is that a different dragon? Yeah, Radovid did talk a lot like Stennis. He kind of had a similar face. I know they were calling him Radovid, and at some point I just got a little confused. He also has that similar neck plate, not to Stennis, but to Foltest's not wife's first son. What's his name? It does kind of seem that way. Sheila and Philippa are, for the most part, on the same side. Yep, if.
Sheila! You have to get Sheila!
So where is this dragon? Last time we fought her, she roasted us in any open corridor. So this can't be good. Right, well that's why I was wondering, did we suddenly get another dragon at the end, or was that her?
You can't stop me, not you, not anyone else.
Probably should have thrown some potions on down there. I wonder if we still can. Looks like we might be able to. No. We can't backtrack. Oh, we might be screwed for potions.
If I have to, I will.
We've been there before. Oh, gee, should have taken potions already. Too late.
How do you like my dragon?
Okay. The dragon's great. The dragon's awesome.
You're late. I've already managed to stabilize the portal.
You've got nowhere to run. Sooner or later, somebody will find you.
I prefer to leave on my own terms.
Where's Letho?
Sir Sympathis will tend to him, as she will to all the fools who get a hard-on at the mere thought of burning a sorceress at the stake.
Where is he?
I don't know, fool. I've been looking for him since Foltest's assassination. Letho cheated all of us. We were deceived by his dull face and sluggish stare. Don't you understand? The Lodge sought a way to get rid of Demavend, that's true. He was a weak, volatile king. Edirn would eventually choke to death under his rule. We chose the lesser evil. He had to be eliminated, and Letho happened to be at hand.
Foltest? Henselt?
We had nothing to do with that. After assassinating Demavend, Letho used our gold and magical support to find and meet Yorveth. The elf was to help him hide until the matter blew over, or so I thought. The Lodge did not condemn Foltest to die.
Then who did?
Nilfgaard. Letho is the king of liars and emperor of traitors. From the start, he worked for the glory of the great sun and the white flame dancing on the graves of his foes. He lied to everyone. Me, Yorveth, your stupid little Triss.
Say that again.
And you.
Got any evidence?
A moment ago, I received a message from the Lodge's agent in Sintra. The Imperial Army is on the move. They're fording the Yaruga now. Do you think the North can defend itself in the current situation? And can you count on another miracle at Brenna?
I don't know, but you made it all possible and you'll answer for that. The stigma of treason is yours for all time.
We shall see. For no one will leave this city alive. No one will tell this story. Philippa controls the dragon. As soon as I disappear, it will turn the city into a flaming tomb. We may have lost a battle, but the war is just beginning. You, however, shall not take part in it.
Oh, we'll see.
This is your end, Witcher.
Farewell! Something's not right. The diamond! Someone replace the diamond! This one's flawed, I'll be torn to bits! Geralt, remove it!
Yeah, sure. Okay there.
Diamond! Remove the diamond! I'll give you anything you want!
No. Hell no. Burn.
No! No!
Damn it.
Ah! What do we have here? Whoa, I'm not staying up here. Is that a choice? No, it's not a choice. We can't leave. Yes, right, of course. We can't, yeah? It looks like it's open to me. Alright, so when we get into range, Claude. What, did you think I was gonna save her? Did you seriously think I was gonna pull the crystal? I don't know what the possibilities are, but I wasn't gonna save her. Why? Because she was screaming? Because she was getting torn apart? Yeah, okay. Oh, we still have the wrong sword out. Yes, medallion. We will kill the dragon with our medallion. Just you watch. Just you watch. These are really tight quarters. I was gonna say, this whole battle can't possibly be in the one room. We've got to move this battle somewhere. Huh. Well. Hopefully we don't get attacked up here. I want to take in the view for a sec. One of the better views in the game. Oh, we're going up. We're not going down. Apparently we're going up. Oh, look what we got. Look what we got. Nice. We actually got a chance to take some potions. Well, in case it was a microsecond that we were about to lose, let's take some potions. And we'll save if we can. Not being incinerated would be nice. Not bleeding would be nice. Let's go defensive. Let's not worry about the offensive potion. Let's go swallow, tawny owl. We'll skip the rook. It's 10%, but we'll skip it. You got 12, huh? Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I didn't really want to get into claw range. Nice. Just which... Potions, yes. Save, no. Based invisible wall. This might take a few tries. That was a one-hit kill to the back. Looked like a one-hit kill to the back. So he may do that a few times before we figure out how to avoid him. whetstone. We forgot the whetstone. Let's throw on the whetstone. Or the whetstone. Or the whetstone. Yeah, let's see about that not turning our back thing. Dude, where'd you go? Okay. Come on in. Come on in. Come play. Come play. We're having a tea party. You're invited. Oh, damn. One hit. He doesn't seem that strong. I mean, the dragon is taking a few hits to the nose and taking a lot of damage. It's a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing. Maybe this is still round one. Maybe the dragon will yet have some surprises. I'm gonna see what suggestions people sent, but if you haven't played Bloodborne and you want to see what some real boss fights are like, that's a reason we should play Bloodborne next. Oh, the dragon's going down. I guess Letho. We still need to fight Letho. So whatever happens to the dragon, it can't be the end. We still have a big score to settle. And the house always wins. That's all it takes is a little 3% advantage. That was different. That was different. Nice. See, that's what the dragon should be doing. Oh.
Guess they'll never learn.
Good. It's doing something different. Ah! Yeah, I saw that at the last second. Very nice. I like the tail move. The tail move's great. We got really lucky on the move set last time, apparently. Damn, we were not only close, but we had been lucky with that pattern. It did the same thing. Over and over, and it was almost dead. Now we got some real moves. It can hide under the platform, it can whomp you with his tail, he can fly down for a quick pass and a bite. With how long it takes to actually take a potion, it would be nice if they let us save stagger. It's too bad we can't. Too bad we can't drop a save here. Told you, we're gonna kill him with the medallion. Damn, I saw him go. I knew it as soon as I started to move. I saw him. Excuse me, her. I saw her. I saw her. Oh, just taking these potions. Down the hatch, come on. Why would we use Ken now? Why would you use Ken now? After how stubborn we've been throughout the game, why would we start using Ken now? I mean, maybe we'll crack and try it. It has never helped us. We have not gotten through any tough fight because of Ken. Just hasn't fit our play style at all. I see how it could help. Yes, it would be nice to absorb a hit instead of just getting one shot, but... Yikes. And it's not like we can cast an art on him effectively, so maybe we'll throw out a Ken. But I'm thinking I'll be thick-headed and avoid it. Because we are thick-headed. And we've avoided it so far. We had him. We had him that second time. He was done. He was done. She was done. This whole potion drinking really breaks up the rhythm of the fight. I want to see what they did with Letho. I want to see Letho. Dragon's fine. I want to see Letho.
Wonder how many more.
Nope. Tail. So, I see... I mean, I saw the mini-map, but I guess I needed to be on, what, the opposite side? Precisely the opposite side? It seems like the tail can swing far and wide. So I was on the opposite side of the platform from the marker on the mini-map, and the tail had no trouble getting me. Maybe there's a spot, but I don't think we need to know. We don't need to be told. We can, we got this. We just need to do it. Opposite side. So we'll keep trying that if it comes up. There seems to be enough RNG though that we won't necessarily see the tail. If we have a lucky fight, we won't even see the tail. Maybe you have to dodge in a direction as well as be on the opposite side. Climb, please.
Take that.
lot of fire damage this time. Oh, no! That was it. That was it. Did we just... We were fighting with the steel sword, weren't we? I think we just fought that round with the steel sword. I saw it at the last second in the combat log. At least we haven't been doing that the whole time. Yeah, that happened. That happened. Just poof. On dark, she spends more time on the side of the tower than on top of it. Yay. So I think we're going to get Wild Hunt for PlayStation. I'm not going to mess with the PC version. I don't want to run into frame rate hitches. I don't want to run into other glitches. I'm not going to be able to get 60 frames per second anyways, so I think we're going to go with the PS4 version. Do you have like a two-part? What is your coffee pot like that you can forget to put the pot under it? We'll even throw on the Ken. We'll try throwing on the Ken. We'll see how it does when we get hit in the back. What's up, Davin? How are you doing? How was work today? I know you're back at work. At your favorite job. Your favorite job. We're here at the end. Damn near the end. If I could take out this stupid dragon, then we will really be near the end. Alright, girl. How about the silver sword this time? I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not even sure we put the buff on the right sword this time. Shit. Doing the tail thing? No. Yep, medallion kill again. Ow. Alright, let's just, since this is about toast, let's see what the Ken could actually do if we used it. Our regen's not all that good, but the Ken helps with the tail. Ah, nice. Alright, Bionics, I'm on board with the Ken if it helps with that stupid tail. Forgot to put the pot under it. I gotcha. So how much of a mess was that? Too humid to go out for a smoke, Devin? Too humid to smoke? You know it's bad when. This is a weird way to start the night with a boss fight. We haven't had any warm-up fights. We haven't had any combat tonight. We're just jumping into a dragon fight. Feels very strange. I bet if we had played last night, if we had gone after the dragon last night, we would have had a different momentum. That's not true. I killed those two guards. You're right. My bad. We killed those two guards. All right, Geralt. Come on. Game on. Damn it. I don't want to fight this dragon all night. We got a date with Letho. Date with Letho. And no more. Yes. No. No! You did not get us. You did not get us. No. Instead, we got you. And we... Yes. God damn it. That was greed. Alright, so that was Dark Souls greed right there. That was Dark Souls greed right there. Go ahead and throw this out one more time. So what are we playing next? I have to check my messages too. If anyone has sent some messages, I need to check those. That was close. If I hadn't been greedy, that might have worked out. If I had just taken one breath, just one breath, that might have worked out. That's the pattern we need though. We need that. That's what we need the dragon to do if we want to kill this thing quickly and not have to fuss too much with the tail. See if I can remember to throw the Ken up this time. Take out the right sword, buff the right sword, actually use the Ken. Cool. Cheers. Yeah, we'll get that all sorted out soon as we're done with Letho. No!
How many more can there be?
Damn it! That was a bit of a stab of faith. He was not close enough that I knew it. I was just counting on him. I was counting on him moving in a little bit. I was counting on him moving in a little bit. Yeah, I backtracked on that. Said, yep, we're on board. We'll do it. And the reason was we tried it once and it absorbed a tail hit. Since it took a tail hit, that's awesome. I don't know that it's helping with the fire, but... I know I said I was going to be stubborn about it first, but then I changed my mind. Damn it. Did we really just end up in potion crafting instead of drinking? Drink, Geralt, drink. It has to be a 1 or 2 hit kill boss, doesn't it? Dragon should be, really. All dragons should be. With the medallion. charge. Okay. Are you coming in? Are you charging again? You're charging. You gonna charge again? Nope. This should be it. Nope. You charging again? Okay. We're moving on. That's how close we were 3 times. Please tell me we did not just fucking cutscene kill a dragon with a quick time. I'm trying to put on a smile here. Seriously, Davin, what the fuck? I don't know what score I'd give The Witcher 2. A pretty high score. Not the boss fights. Boss fights get a low score. Boss fights get a low score. Game gets a high score, boss fights get a low score. See, this right here is far more interesting than the fight was. I'll give you that right away. I don't know what we're deciding, but this is more interesting than the fight. Saskia. Poor Saskia. She's under control. This wasn't really her will. Killing the dragon at this point could be mercy. Is there any way she'd survive? We don't really want her to suffer. It's not wrong that you like them. It's just an opinion. I like the cutscenes. I don't. Let's finish this, then we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. So here's how I view it. Killing the dragon is mercy for Saskia. Killing the dragon is mercy. Walking away could be seen as hoping that she'll survive. Will the dragon live? Will Saskia live? Will she be back if we let her live? I'm thinking walk away is suffer. Suffer, dragon, suffer. That's what I see here. Mercy or suffer, dragon, suffer. Well, that's sort of a spoiler, but I can see your point. I can see your point. Dude, now you're all just throwing spoilers out. Like, you're just straight up throwing spoilers out. Come on. Come on, give me a break here. You just told me 3 things I didn't need to know. 3 things I didn't need to know. At all. Totally was going to make a decision one way, and now you're giving me information that changes the entire dynamic of that decision. Completely. I'm trying to put it out of my head. Well, I'll tell you what. My decision is based on what I knew 30 seconds ago, not what I knew now. So we're going to go with... No, that's a spoiler. I'm going to go with that's a spoiler. You told me she survives. And I'd say that's a spoiler. I'm not mad, but that I didn't need to know that. We thought this was mercy or not mercy. We're going with mercy. And because... Yeah. Anyways, it's all good. It's all good. See, look how Geralt's doing this. I know maybe it won't be seen that way. This is an act of mercy. That was an act of mercy. Meanwhile, in Lochmuin, not Stennis, Radovid.
A list of the Lodge's sorceresses. A list of the hordes you'll help us find.
So who freed Philippa? We didn't free her. Who freed Philippa? Or did we sort of free her? We just didn't. We didn't escort her. We wouldn't escort her. Suppose she could have left the same way we did. Don't say anything if you want to live, guards. I told you guys to be quiet. She wouldn't have cooked you if you had just kept your mouth shut. We better get a fight with Letho. We were promised another fight with Letho. Originally the advisor. Hi, Triss.
Are you all right?
More or less.
And the dragon?
I had to kill her.
I'm sorry.
That bitch Eilhart should be the one lying at the bottom of the ravine with a blade in her gut.
Her time will come. We've got evidence.
Tell me, Triss, what's it about? Why the hell make sacrifices, have rules and morality, if pure, untainted whoredom always triumphs in the end?
Not always. If you hadn't stopped Saskia, she'd have burned the city. Dozens would have perished. Then we'd have the inevitable war, brought on by someone's greed or lust for revenge.
Look at the background.
And hundreds, thousands more would have died. You chose the lesser evil.
I'm tired. Very tired.
Let's get out of here.
I guess Letho got away.
He's
pretty hot here too,
waiting
Davin.
for you.
Waiting?
Where the Temerians made camp. Come on.
I'll see you in the background. She's talking like there isn't a creature in the background and a bunch of magical vines.
What do you mean, waiting? How do you know?
Utter chaos broke out after the dragon attacked. I tried to reach Philippa's quarters. A terrified man approached me in one of the alleys, gave me a letter and begged me not to harm him. He said it was for you. The letter was short. I'm waiting in the Temerian camp. Letho.
What happened here while I was gone?
All the kings had many more armed men than they should have had at a peace summit. During the evacuation, several skirmishes were had. The Kidwenis clashed with the Temerians. The Order's knights raped 2 sorceresses and killed those who dared try to help them.
Do you think the Council and Conclave will survive?
Well, they're established, and that's the only thing that prevented a wholesale massacre. Hard to say if they'll survive, but for the time being, no one's got any better ideas.
You gonna let me meditate or not? You're not saying no, you're just not, it's just not going. There we go. Where does the last point go? 21. How am I meant? You're not. You stay up and you keep a rag by your bed and then you stay dry. You try and stay dry. I know someone was talking about air conditioning. No air conditioning there, Davin? I tried to keep my air conditioning off to save money, and but I broke down. I turned it on about a week ago. I was going to turn it on anyway when I pick up my mother from the airport, and she's here for a week. There's no way I'm not running the AC while she's here. So we could get a little more vigor. That might be nice. We could... We're not going to be using Igni on Letho, are we? We could beef up our Ken and actually use Ken in that last fight. What do you think? Fans of Ken, should we beef up our Ken? Because we can do that. That's probably the best bet. We can either get one more vigor or beef up our Ken. And I'm thinking Ken will be more useful. Do people not even put little units in their windows? Is that just not a thing? Jared says no. No. Twitch lag says no to what? Think you're better with something else, but it probably doesn't matter. I agree, it probably doesn't matter. Sign intensity. Yrden joins traps together. Oh, we could and we can't get that. We could get that. So we could do Yrden level 2, 2 traps. I wonder, will we be able to drop Letho, get him caught in a trap? Beef up our Ken. Yeah, why not? I yield to a Ken. I yield to the Ken. Whether or not we use it. Looks like we won't be hitting the level cap until the very end of the game, though. At which you don't have a fan. Sure you do, man. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan. All better now. Go find Letho. Let's see if our journal has anything new to say. Summit of Mages. The attendees, as politicians tend to, rambled on and could not reach an agreement. The summit was not, however, boring, because affairs of importance to the entire world were being discussed. I regret not being there, for Geralt forgot half of the speeches and misremembered the other half. Yet no one could forget the event that interrupted the summit, for a dragon in all of its majesty appeared over the amphitheater. Chaos ruled the bleachers. Guess who had to face the beast? The journal likes to get carried away. A little melodramatic here. Defeating the dragon was one of Geralt's greatest feats. I would say the sword that we acquired yesterday was our greatest feat. It was a difficult fight. Even the slightest mistake could have meant instant death, and did. Yet an even harder task now awaited the bruised and fatigued Witcher. He had to settle things with Letho. That's what I am all about. Understandable, then, that it's melodramatic, and also that it's always a little bit... slightly ahead. So if we read the journal as soon as it updates, it tends to say one or two things we're about to do that we haven't done yet. And because it's after the fact, that makes sense, but still a little weird that they give it to us in the journal before we've done it. That looks like Yorvith.
I think he's coming too.
Oh, bollocks. The whoreson's in agony. Won't be long now.
Look at that. The cleverest of elven bandits, beaten burnt like ordinary scum.
This is the handiwork of some mage. I'd wager my wife on it.
You shouldn't have taken that trinket. You know they'll ask what he had on him.
And you'll not peep a word. Understand?
Bring out your nearly
Hey,
dead.
you, piss off. We've got a dangerous prisoner here.
I'm not dead yet. He's not dead yet. Well, yeah, how did you capture him?
A prisoner. Did you capture him?
None of your concern. Buzz off, freak.
Any idea what happened to Roach?
Yes, Radovid tried to buy him off. I'm sure you can guess Roach turned him down.
Some things will never change.
Temeria might not be on the map of the North much longer, but as long as men like Roach are around, there is hope for its rebirth.
Don't pin that mess on me.
I don't intend to. You asked.
Yeah, we asked. Hold on here.
I'm warning you for the last time. I said.
No. I'm warning you. I want to talk to Yorvith.
You asked for it.
Yeah, I did. And now it's your turn. I thought I had my Ard up. I thought I had my trusty Ard. Where's my Ard? I want to talk to Yorvith. So, you've got to die. God, the frame lag, it's not the frame rate. The frame rate's fine. Just to cover that again. High settings, medium settings, low settings, it does that no matter what. Plays at a good frame rate and then hitches. It's why we're gonna get Wild Hunt on PlayStation instead of PC. Part of why. Alright.
Want to tell me what that was about?
Yeah, I want to talk to Yorvith.
It's Yorvith. I owed him that much.
See? Geralt and I have bonded.
Quite a bit.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. Can you help him?
I'm sorry, Geralt. This was high magic. Treating him will take time, maybe months.
So drag him along.
You're gonna miss the Kingslayer again. Stay with him, Triss. I'll be back for you when this is over.
Okay.
Geralt.
I don't want you to get hurt.
I can take care of myself.
Not this time. I need to talk to him alone.
I'm glad that was possible.
The magic shield came down when the deliberations ended.
As soon as those guards blew me off, I knew what I had to do.
Out of here, far away to Vergen.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
Okay. Yeah, there's our last favor to you, Yorvith. The final time I shall salute your clarity of spirit is by saving your ass on this little wagon. Congratulations, you live another day. Go find Letho. We will. On that note, how far away is he? Do we want to take potions before we even go walking? Yeah, forget it. Let's take some potions here. I don't know how soon we're going to get pushed into a cutscene or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of a monster act that was. Look at what you let happen to Yorvith. Yeah, we let him live. We let him live, and then we freed him from captivity. How horrible. How horrible. We haven't seen him in a while. He was going to investigate Philippa's house while we were looking for the sewers, and that was the last we saw of him until now. So, I'd like to think that Hangman's Venom will actually work on Letho, but we can't do oil and whetstone, right? So what's the point of worrying about that? We can go whetstone, whetstone on each sword. I don't know who we'll run into besides Letho, if there is any monsters left or not. But my thought is we'll put a whetstone on both swords, take some potions, save the game, move on. And if it's broken up into pieces, we'll take more potions at some point if we get the chance. Or use our last whetstone before the last fight. Something like that. Was it? Oh, that makes perfect sense. That makes sense. Did she get to keep the spoon? Did they let her keep the spoon that they carved her eyes out with? Like in case she was hungry or something? I think I just put whetstone on the steel sword and then the menu shifted and I put Hangman's Venom possibly on the silver sword. Because that makes sense, because we're going to use the silver sword on humans, of course. Alright. One whetstone left. I think we got that sorted. There we go. Whetstone on both. bleeding, incineration. I think we're going to do that again. We're going to go defensive and not take the extra 10% damage from Rook. As nice as that might be, we're going to go defensive and regen. Another thing we're going to do is play this game again one day on dark mode. Not on Nightmare. No permadeath. But I think this game needs to be played again on dark mode. Not right away. We'll do Witcher 3 first. So it'll probably be a couple months. But at some point, we'll need to do the first Witcher again and the second. And we're going to do them... We're going to do them dark style. Yeah, whatever the permadeath is, we're not doing that. Does it look like I could pull off permadeath? No. My own permadeath fantasy is Mass Effect Insanity, and that's going to be crazy enough. I will rest my gaming career when I can pull that off. Yeah, maybe we'll go Roche's path too. We'll play on dark mode and go Roche's path just to see how different it is. Will you part for us? No. Can we make you part for us? No. And we definitely need to do, we could do a Renegade playthrough or a mixed viewer choice playthrough, something like that. Are you still alive? Is this a living guard? No. Alright, how are we getting through? Yeah, my first Insanity playthroughs were with a soldier, and of course adrenaline power. I didn't use flare. I've never used flare much. I know the move, so I know that's pretty good. Stupidly easy? I'm still gonna be a skeptic on stupidly easy, but it is possible. I mean, just running around as an adept, you can practically go without ammo. You can just do biotic detonations, and even on Insanity, it just blows everything up. Doesn't mean it's hard to die. Taking a rocket to the face, there we go. Taking a rocket to the face can happen on any difficulty, soldier or not. But I see what you're saying. That could be a pretty solid, straightforward, solid tactic that works across the board. Still though, permadeath, Insanity, it's a fantasy.
This is no place for witches. Though I know you and you appear wherever something important happens.
True, though sometimes by accident.
Often by accident.
And this time, also a coincidence?
Halfway.
Let's say I have something to take care of.
In that case, hurry. Once we're done cleaning up this mess created by the royal soldiery, Loch Muin will be magically sealed.
Getting out of here?
Temporarily. We shall return soon enough to rebuild the city. Loch Muin will regain its former glory. Until that time, we need to keep the treasure hunters and troublemakers out.
So Radovid trusts you?
We shall win His Royal Majesty's trust by delivering Sheila de Tanserville and the other traitresses from the lodge.
De Tanserville will be a problem.
Admittedly, Sheila can be slippery as an asp, but we'll find her.
You don't get it, Carduin. Sheila de Tanserville's dead, killed by an unstable portal.
Shame. She was to be charged and tried. She would have been convicted of her crimes.
Why does it sound like she was convicted before standing trial?
It would have been a formality, true, and at once a warning to other sorceresses.
Seems to me she led you down the garden path.
Forgive me, I must attend to some matters. And don't dawdle, the city will be sealed in 1 hour.
There he is. He's just sitting there. He's just sitting there. Actually, still save here. That's nice. And our buffs look okay. We wasted about half our buffs, but no lollygagging. Hello, Letho. Hello. He's the one who swapped the crystal, huh?
Is that
nice.
bauble from Sheila's megascope?
I bet it is.
My final prank. I switched the diamonds. The one in the megascope has a flaw. Minute. But just large enough to warp the teleport. The Emperor's magic theorists assured me the effect would be spectacular.
It was effective.
Oh, it was.
Oh, yes.
Good. Had she lived, she would have suffered more intensely and much longer. She helped me quite a bit, through naivety and pride. I would not have gotten far without her.
So, ready to lay your cards out on the table?
We forgot to play a final round of poker.
Game, there comes a point when all the players need to show their cards. I love that moment.
Me too.
But first, vodka.
Let me have it.
I suppose my throat's a little dry.
In that case, let's drink to old friendships.
It'll be nice if he didn't poison us. Had a feeling that was straight up.
Recovered your memory yet?
Mostly.
Not entirely.
Remember how we first met?
Going after Yennefer.
Yeah, I saved your life. Couldn't think of a nicer way to pay me back?
Frankly, I couldn't. I mean, taking care of another man's woman, Yennefer. I can't fathom what you saw in her, but I suppose there's no accounting for taste.
Ding, 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 ding.
The winter solstice, 1270. Midinvern, the night of magic. Letho wasn't lying. The hunt had stopped. At the Hanged Man's Tree, the spectral riders selected from among those they had taken. Yennefer was among them. A wraith cannot be killed, only driven away. Every witcher knows that. Yet the riders fell beneath the blows of our witcher's blades. Crimson blood flowed from under their dead men's armor. We could not kill them all. They were simply too many. A stalemate. He was different from all other elves. There was no shame in his gaze. He had never suffered persecution. He had endured no massacres. Humans had not taken his land. This elf was not of this world. He was an invader. We struck a deal. My soul for that of Yennefer. He agreed without hesitation.
Whoa.
Back with me, friend. Got the feeling you left for a minute.
Memories. I remember the Hanged Man's Tree and the Wild Hunt. I remember the exchange. Me for Yennefer.
So, cards out on the table. Unless you chase me all that way just to kill me.
Well, I like this. I chased you. Let's read my mind. We really have bonded well with Geralt. He reads my mind often.
I chased you for lots of reasons. You owe me
it's always
some
simple stuff,
explanations
but
to start with.
Let's say I do.
Tell me about Yennefer. What happened after I departed?
She was feverish for several days. Delirious. In agony. We thought that was it. She was on her way out. Somehow she recovered. But even then she was disoriented. Amnesia like you.
What then?
Well, the woman turned out to be quite a character. Throwing temper tantrums. Trying to seduce orcs. Trying to drive a wedge between us. After you so nobly sacrificed yourself, we thought it'd be dumb just to leave her somewhere. she wouldn't have survived more than a month. The whims and vigor of a duchess, but she was just a sorceress with no memory. We were in the heart of the Empire. And as I'm sure you know, Geralt, in Nilfgaard, mages who behave like that either drop their bad habits quickly, or are drawn and quartered by horses in the middle of Victory Square.
So I heard.
So we set out, wandered through the provinces. Everywhere we went, she got in trouble and we pulled her out. And then one day they captured us. The Imperial Secret Police. Me, AoK, Sareth, and Yennefer.
They took all four of you?
Imperial Secret Police?
How did they do that?
Mm-hmm. We were separated, and they questioned us. Long and thoroughly, but it was uneventful. No violence. That's how I met Vatia de Rideau. And a couple of weeks later, the Emperor himself. Me. A simple witcher.
What happened to Yennefer?
I don't know. Never saw her again. The Emperor offered me a mission in the northern kingdoms. As for Yennefer, I had the feeling she was somehow important to Emir. As I see it, they learned of the Lodge from her. Those Imperial spooks have their ways. All I heard is that Vatir had his men watch Yennefer closely throughout the time she was at the palace. Then we went off to slay the kings of the north. That's where my knowledge ends.
So she's in the Empire?
She was when I left.
How did a Witcher agree to kill humans at another human's bidding?
At the Emperor's bidding, Geralt. And he's no ordinary human. The rulers of the North come up to about where his Pauline's end.
Why?
Simple. He promised to rebuild the School of the Viper, the Witcher's order where I came to be. Witcher's schools in the south fell into ruin long ago. And Witchers themselves became internal exiles, banned from entering most cities. Besides Sareth and AoK, I know of 2 other Witchers of the School of the Viper who should be alive and on the path. I don't know where they are. Haven't seen them for years. Now they can come out of hiding. They can come home.
How did you know where we'd find the Wild Hunt?
Every Witcher who wears the Viper around his neck knows the place. We had so many books and scrolls about the hunt that I used to think our school was founded for the very purpose of solving the riddle of the Spectral Riders.
Know who they are? You know the true identities of the Riders?
From what I understand, they're some damn elven race. But they turned out to be a big ruse. The legendary omen of war proved to be a fairground attraction.
No Market Square mage could possibly conjure up a cavalcade of wraiths speeding across the sky. Then there's the amnesia. No, there's something more, I assure you.
Go ahead, enlighten me. I can tell you want to.
There are a lot of legends and myths about it, but the Wild Hunt is a fact. I've fought and killed many of its wraiths. They were spectral emanations, the avatars of real riders. The riders we ran into by the Hanged Man's Tree.
Are you telling me you were carried off by elves? Real material sons of bitches like the ordinary kind we deal with in this world?
They may be ordinary in their world, but they're strangers in ours. The conjunction of spheres. Know the theory? Do you know how monsters appeared in all?
I actually remember reading a bit of that.
There's not a Witcher who doesn't know that.
In the
So
first
you know
game.
there are other spheres. The most powerful of our mages can open passages between these worlds, and they usually do that to summon the monsters we then have to hunt. The elves we saw come from another world, and they weren't summoned. They found the way on their own. It's not exactly easy, so they usually send their spectral emanations. They come in person on special missions.
As they did for you and Yennefer. So, elves from another world and their trained wraiths. What do they want from you?
I've got an idea. But that's not your concern. Why are you still here? Why did you wait for me this time?
I knew you wouldn't give up. I knew you'd pursue me. And I don't aim to hide anymore. Fact is, only you know the truth about me. Well, and a couple of folks whose word isn't worth spit anymore. I never saw you as a foe. I want to go my way. But if I have to fight you first, so be it. This story ends here and now.
Care to tell me what it was all about?
Please explain.
Kill as many rulers as we could. Lay the blame on the sorceresses.
Nice and
Breed
simple.
chaos. Prepare the North. Soften it before the invasion. And you know what's incredible? We could not have imagined more fertile soil. No matter what the war's outcome, the northern monarchs will accuse one another. Pursue their God-given rights. Seek vengeance and be at each other's throats for years to come. The North resembles a whorehouse on fire, as your friend Dandelion would say.
Oh, darn, hold on. See if we can get that dialogue back. Whoa. Alright. You told us yesterday that there was a lot of dialogue, optional dialogue. You weren't kidding. You weren't kidding. I think we're gonna get it all. I don't know any reason to skip it, so. We got a few minutes before the fight.
How did you manage to contact Sheila?
It wasn't a problem once I learned of the Lodge's existence. Initially, she watched my every move. But sooner or later, everyone starts treating me like a big oaf.
I wonder why.
I mean, I can't change how I look. I stayed close to Sheila, killed a few beasts for her, and whined about how unhappy I was, how unfair the world was. So much, in fact, that I actually got her gander up a few times. I made sure a few potentially trustworthy witnesses saw us together, could link us. Security in case I was captured. I also prepared to assassinate the King of Kavir. Esterad Tyson was to be the first victim of the mysterious assassins. But before I could do the dirty deed, Sheila asked me to slay Demavend. The gods had smiled upon me. I couldn't believe my luck. Here I'd been trying to figure out how to frame Sheila, and now all I needed was to carry out her orders and follow through.
Where'd you get your information about the Lodge?
From the Emperor and Vatir de Rideau, the Emperor's chief spy. And I believe they got it out of Yennefer.
She recovered her memory?
Nah. I'd never claim she informed on her friends consciously. I expect they found a way to tap into her memory in spite of her amnesia, and without her knowing it. There was a sorcerer present when I was questioned. A young, proud intelligence officer. Whatever the case, they gave me a list of the sorceresses in the Lodge. Only Emir, Vatir, and I were present. Only we knew of the mission.
How do you manage to slay Demavend?
Sheila's magic. I mean, she could give us the king's every move. His habits, the positions of the palace guards, anything. All we had to do was navigate the labyrinth and land the final blow. Besides, she had plenty of gold for the preparations. Greased palms abundantly. It had all the makings of a cakewalk, but it's never that easy. We barely avoided our pursuers, and we wouldn't have if not for Yorveth Skoyatel, another of Sheila's ideas. With Yorveth's elves, not only did we cut down Demavend, but traveling with them put us out of the Lodge's reach. We could calmly plan Foltest's and Henselt's assassinations.
How did you know Foltest would come to the monastery's solar?
Yorveth and I planned Foltest's murder. The King of Temeria would have to deal with the Lavalette sooner or later, and he made no secret of it.
We knew he was sort of
I was
involved,
sure
though,
he'd
didn't
want
we?
to recover his bastard
Already.
children in the process. And where do they take the children when a castle is under siege? I had to become a monk, but I couldn't just arrive at the monastery and claim I'd seen the light. Not very believable. So one of Arian's patrols out in the forests happened on a Scoia'tael unit torturing a helpless monk. Arian's brave men drove off the elves and I found shelter in the monastery.
No one noticed you had no wounds?
I paid the monk who treated me a lot of orange to stay silent. Actually, it was only a loan, because I killed him later. Only the dead can keep a secret. Then all I had to do was wait for the situation to develop. When I saw you enter the chamber with Foltest, I thought I might fail. Luckily, you failed. To recognize an old friend.
How you doing, We Are Woo? It is. These are, it's all here. It's all here. You wanted to take over Yorvith's unit?
When did you decide to get rid of Yorvith?
As soon as I realized I couldn't manipulate him. A true fox, that one. He was so observant, so dangerous. I got the sense he might see through me at any moment.
Yorvith, clarity
You
of
made a
spirit.
mistake. You were untouchable as long as the Scoia'tael were protecting you.
Maybe, but with Yorveth, my hands were tied. If I'd finished off Kieran...
But you didn't. And that allowed me to drive a wedge between you and Yorvith. I forced you to flee.
And I let you live. You know I could have killed you. You're forgetting.
No, I remember. So Sheila was looking for you when she came to Flotsam.
Mm-hmm. She thought she was still in control and wanted to get rid of me. I'd bet my eyes that she thought I'd lost my mind, or that Yorveth was manipulating me.
And the North descended deeper into chaos.
Exactly. There was just one problem. You.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
I could have killed you in the Elven ruins. Thing is, you weren't really my enemy.
So why then?
You screwed up with Henselt.
Sabrina's curse tore that down. First off, we got holed up in that hideout in the ravines. Then Sheila showed up and started watching Henselt like he was her own ass. By that time, his death was no longer necessary. Fate had smiled upon us again.
I'll have to see
I
Roche's
learned
side
of the
things.
summit and the efforts to reconstitute the council and conclave. The ideal setting for the mission's grand finale.
Tell us about Yennefer. One last time. Oh. Or not. That was it, huh? Did I hit the wrong option? I'm going through this one last time. Yennefer and the Wild Hunt. Yeah, that took us back to the beginning. Alright. Let's finish this. Let's finish
I'm done
this.
talking. Let's finish this.
Want to fight?
Maybe.
Any vodka left in that bottle?
A swig apiece. Here. The Imperial army is probably crossing the Yaruga as we speak. Pure pandemonium will ensue. The North's finished. Time to go south, where the good life awaits.
You're a fool, Letho. Both you and your Emperor are forgetting one thing. Misfortune brings people together. Very shortly, the North could be united like never before, thanks to you. But that's just not my concern anymore.
I'm not your foe. I never was.
You are today.
Let me walk away and I will. You'll never see me again. Force me to fight, and this time I'll kill you.
You beat me to it. Oh, we get to choose to have a fight or not. How could we choose not to fight? It's all built up to this. What, we let him walk and just call it a day? Alright, game over. Everyone go home. Everyone go home. No fight. No fight with Letho. You know, we could let things be. We could let things be. But we've been waiting for this fight for days. We've been waiting for this fight for days. So it's not really a choice. It's not really a choice. Oh, who said we're not going to kill Letho? And remember, from our perspective, that was pure mercy. He was doing it to revive the School of the Viper, and he's been your friend in the past. Indeed. But no fight? But no fight? No fight? That's a selfish reason. I want to fight. Selfish reason. To kill Saskia and not Letho. Do you know why we killed Saskia? Even if we didn't have the whole picture. Doing it to revive the School of the Viper, and he's been your friend in the past. He has. He has spared our life more than once. He has spared our life more than once. I'm tempted to let him be. But giving up our last fight. Geralt, what do we do? What do we do, Geralt? What do we do at this moment? I like this. I like the feedback I'm seeing here. He's not your enemy today, and yet he's brought the entire North to ruin. He took care of Yennefer and helped you fight the Hunt. Indeed they do. I think this will be the last time for a while that we revisit Abigail. We've made a lot of hasty decisions. We've killed people. We've let others kill people that we could have saved. He endangered Triss. He did. He endangered Triss. He did not kill Triss, and he had the opportunity. Did he ever? No. You're gonna pin another bromance on me for this. But having history with someone is something to is something important. Having a history with someone is important. And he has respected our history more than we could in our... He did kill Foltest, who was a bro, but can we also safely assume that if you don't kill people, you might see them in the future? I do assume that generally. If they live, we'll see them. If they die, we might see them anyways. I didn't want Saskia to die. But I also had no knowledge that she could live through that, so it was done through a different lens. I don't think we can ask for his head just because we want to fight. I've been spoiling for a fight, so this is a bit of a burn. We saved Triss because she is our friend. We let others suffer to honor that friendship. And Letho is not our friend. Not now. Not now, but he's done more for us than some of our friends. He protected Yennefer. He helped us fight the hunt. Today we call him a friend.
I've learned all I wanted to know. I can feel the memories coming back. Your death won't change a thing. Go where you will.
Just like that. No threats. No words of wisdom.
You going or not?
Farewell, Geralt.
Can't believe we're walking away. We walked away. I know, Jared. Saskia is dead and Letho lives. What the fuck? The path we walk is not always the one we expect to walk. Sometimes the choices we make that put us on that path are made from the gut and not from the head. Sometimes the heart, sometimes the gut. Less often the head.
The Witcher had traveled far and wide in search of the Kingslayers. Along the way, he had met both the righteous and scoundrels.
No fight, though.
Bernard Laredo amongst the latter. Laredo sold Flotsam to Kedwin and scattered the local non-humans to the four winds.
Sold Flotsam to Kedwin.
Flotsam became a military base. Its civilian population was resettled. In Edirn, the Witcher witnessed Saskia the Dragonslayer achieve a great victory. The Pontar Valley, previously Upper Edirn, became a promised land for outcasts who dared dream of freedom. Even sly old Zoltan Chive came to believe in this land of bliss. Yet dark times approached for the architects of the New Order. Dark clouds had been gathering over Temeria since Foltest's death. Stripped of its king, the land was like a rich cloth which nobles began to shred. These minor scavengers, however, scurried off in fear when true predators reached out for their prize. The summit at Loch Muin sealed the fate of Foltest's realm, when Radovid of Redania and Henselt of Kedwin divided it between them. Years before, Geralt of Rivia had witnessed the fall of the Council and Conclave of Mages. The summit in Loch Muin re-established both bodies, their founders sacrificing Sheila de Tanzerville and her accomplices. Yet Radovid also required humility and loyalty from the proud mages, but this did not sit well with all of them. It was a time of great uncertainty, of rape accomplished by royal decree. Yet as troubled as the days seemed, we, who had in some way shaped the world's fate, finally received some respite. Zoltan resumed the quest for his beloved's hand, and I laid my head in a lapse of the muses. Who could have known this tempest which had ravaged the north was but a harbinger of darker days, and the preamble to an entirely new tale of Geralt of Rivia.
credits to see the game ending. Did they just warn us not to skip the credits? Okay, well, we wouldn't skip them anyways, but I've never seen a game warn you to watch the credits if you want to see the ending. Wow. Okay. I have a lot of mixed feelings on this game. A lot of mixed feelings on this game. Let's start with this. I like the first one better. I like the story in this one better. I like the story in this one better. I like the first game better. Mechanically, definitely. Visually, I think I like the first game better too. That's probably when we'll get to Wild Hunt. I haven't picked it up yet, so I still have to buy it, but I've got some family in town next week, so I will be streaming next week, normal schedules, but I'm not sure I want to start Wild Hunt while I've got family in town. That's what I hear, Tyler, and welcome, by the way. I've heard all good things about the third Witcher. Yeah, super stoked. I don't want to say I'm disappointed in this game. It wasn't disappointing. I don't have a number in mind, but I enjoyed this a lot. The thing is, I liked the combat better in the first one, and the change they made to over-the-shoulder, strict over-the-shoulder, close cam action. I'm hoping that they fine-tuned it for the third game, and I haven't heard any complaints, so I'm counting on that being better. Yeah, Tyler, instead of streaming at night, I just end up streaming all day, all day, every day. In terms of what we play next, I know I've thrown it up a couple times, but I had a little straw poll. We're going to start something else tonight and probably play 3 or 4 hours of something else tonight. And I'd like to play a game that doesn't last a week. Sort of a sub 20-hour game, 2-3 day game. Let's see how we're doing so far. 3 votes for Bloodborne, 1 for BioShock 2, and I need to check my messages here. So Morgan, if you're still there, Morgan's Fist, I got your message. I have Child of Light, and I have played it once. I love it. It was a great game. That's actually not a bad choice. I haven't even thought about that for tonight, but that's a good suggestion. We got 2 votes for BioShock 2. And let's see what else we got here. what I would like to hear, you know? Red Dead. Red Dead. I actually do have Red Dead installed. You put in 190 hours. I like hearing that. I am down with putting in hundreds of hours into a good RPG. And what was this? I guess that's part of the disappointment. Did I say disappointment? I said I wasn't disappointed. So we won't go there. But little things that were frustrating. This was kind of short. I spent a lot of time farting around and not knowing what I was doing, and we still finished in well under 50 hours. Nearly broke stuff trying to dodge with the alt roll, with alt. Yeah, I do like the playing with the controller. It's probably a good idea after I 100%ed Inquisition, which was okay. I liked it, played it 3 times, 100%ed it, but I think I burned out doing that. And it exposed my frustrations with the game. After playing it 3 times in a row, I kind of, you see the man behind the curtain, and that's not always what you want. Yeah, so you 20-hour game, 25, that's kind of what it felt like. And I spent more time than that, but only because we were sloppy and... I think I will. In a way, I'm looking more forward to playing this again with proper expectations. I knew going into it that it was not going to be like the first Witcher, that there was no top-down camera, that combat had changed, that everything was more console-ified. But in 2 you gotta roll with space, in 3 you roll the same, but you can hop to the side with alt, huh? Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know what the keyboard commands were. We played most of this game with a DualShock 4 on PC and then switched yesterday to an Xbox controller, just having Bluetooth issues. But most of the reason I play with controllers is a pain thing. It's a comfort thing. We'll probably play Wild Hunt on PlayStation. If I get it on PC, I think we'll run into more... I don't want to run into frame rate hitching. Even if we get a good frame rate, if it hitches, that just bothers me. It bothered me here. So, what is it with the environments? The first Witcher...
I have detected a signal embedded in the stack.
Tyler, thank you for the follow. Welcome again. What is it with the environments in the first Witcher that they were... How is it that they were that much better? Or am I crazy? I mean, if you have another opinion... Sell me on the Witcher 2 environments. To me, they seemed mist-covered. They had great potential. They were expansive, but you look off in the distance in Assassins of Kings, and it's kind of foggy. It's not clear. I didn't stop like I did in the first game and just stare at the view. 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. th game. You've played the second Witcher that many times? Or have you already played the third one? I'm guessing you mean the second one, Tyler. Yeah, this was blind for us. And the first Witcher we played in about 50 hours. Maybe it was closer to 60. So this was shorter. We went from 5 chapters to 3. We went from 50, 60 hours to, 30, 40. They improved a lot. But they also changed enough to mechanically frustrate me as a player. Yeah, never was a console game. It's been brought up a few times during the playthrough, but apparently the first Witcher was going to be a Diablo-style game, hence the top-down, the isometric. But originally there was no Geralt, and it was going to be much more of a Diablo-style game. Wonder what that would have been like. the cutscenes. Okay, and I don't mean the story cutscenes. Mechanical frustrations. Let's just unload a little bit while we're waiting for the credits. The tutorial broke on us. The tutorial was trying to show us how to use the incredibly clunky controller support that they built into the game, and it broke. We couldn't even finish the tutorial because we were given talent points and told to spend them, and then we spent them, and it wouldn't acknowledge that we had spent them, so the tutorial broke on us. We ditched the tutorial. And then we learned just by playing, which worked better, but we probably would have learned a few things in the tutorial that would have been useful. And we didn't even know that the bar for our signs was called Vigor. Was it called Vigor in the first one? I don't remember. First Witcher, we spent about 60 hours, 50, 60 hours, and I didn't learn the basic mechanics until about 30, 35 hours in. And it felt good. It was so rewarding. By the time we got 30, 40 hours into The Witcher, and alchemy was starting to make sense, ingredient substitutions were starting to make sense, we never even used bombs. The entire first game we just used Ard and Igni and whetstones. We never used oils, we never used bombs. It just felt like there was so many different ways to play. And I guess they kept that. There's still a lot of play style variety that you could have here. And we got some swordsman bonuses for group attacks, but not having the group style. I really like the fast, slow, and group. Was it too confusing to leave it in? Alright, cutscenes though. Sorry, small diatribe there, but the cutscenes, the instant kill, the finishing moves, the cutscenes that we got in this game, I would have patched them out of the game in a heartbeat if I could. In the first Witcher, you're having a fight, and you execute someone, and you get a real-time finishing move in the middle of combat. Nothing disruptive. You spin around, you chop someone's head off. In this game, when you execute a finishing move, it pulls you out of combat, runs a cutscene where you attack and kill someone, and in that cutscene, you're not standing where you were a minute ago. You're standing wherever the cutscene is viewed from. That was one of my least favorite parts of this game. Frustrating from the beginning, frustrating right up till the end. You're trying to have a good battle and it breaks the flow. And sometimes worse than that. Sometimes those cutscenes will leave you in an awkward, vulnerable position that would never have happened if it wasn't a cutscene kill. Yeah, Bionics, you know what it felt like to me? The first Witcher, that combo click, it felt like a rhythm game. It felt a little bit like playing a rhythm game. In a sense, it was. Well, thank you, Tyler, for the feedback, because I am getting excited. That's what I spent a lot of this game doing, was getting more and more excited for 3. Even as this game frustrated me at times, it also built my excitement for the third one. Or, like Jared says, if we hadn't been such an Ard junkie, that might not have happened. We were throwing out Ards on everyone, so we were stunning everyone, and we got way too many cutscene kills. We probably could have avoided half that problem ourselves. So what are the hardest difficulties in the third Witcher? I know excessive profanity. I have not watched his stream, and I guess he's done with Witcher now, for now. But it said Death March. Is Death March the name of the difficulty, or is that just something he had on his stream title? Because in my head, it's Death March. I'm thinking it's Death March. Maybe that's not the name of the difficulty, though. I'm definitely not going to do normal. We cranked this one up to hard, which was the only option, and we were already in Chapter 3 when we did it. Death March is the highest. Is it permadeath? Jared, yeah, same question. If it's not permadeath, we'll consider doing that. Seriously. There is no permadeath. Well then. In that case, it shall be Death March. We'll do it. We'll just do it. We'll do Death March, Wild Hunt. I do like a good challenge. That fight yesterday for the sword was fantastic. Miserable and fantastic at the same time. I still think Dark Souls could wipe the floor with Witcher's boss fights. Does wipe the floor with Witcher boss fights, but maybe that changes in the third one. And I'm not trying to compare the games, just the boss fights. Just the boss fights. I'm sure someone can. Yeah, I did love that. We should take away his Ard. Oh, you cracked me up with that, and you're right. Probably should. It was such a crutch for me. I wasn't going to change that. It worked well. We didn't take, until the end, we didn't put any talent points into anything but swords. So it made sense. Roll, roll, Ard, roll. What else were we going to do? We had to avoid. It's part of what I love about Bloodborne, and why my vote for tonight was for Bloodborne next. Bloodborne takes evasive combat to the highest level that I have personally experienced. Evasive melee combat. Bloodborne nailed it. Nailed it. It's fast, it's furious, it's visceral, it's exciting, it works, it's tight. And if we play Bloodborne tonight, we're playing with the cane. I don't know if any of you have played Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, or seen them played, but one of the best melee weapons ever created is in Bloodborne. It's a cane. Just a cane. But this cane unwraps into a whip. And it's the best whip I've ever played with in a game. Oh yeah. You played the shit out of him. That's good. That's good. Well, I don't know if you threw your vote down for what we're playing next, but I know it's I've put this in chat more times than there are people voting, I think, but there it is. Little poll. This is what game, thinking about what game we're going to start tonight and play tonight, tomorrow, and maybe Friday. I love them. Although I really am not a big fan of Dark Souls 2. Because I like evasive combat, in part, and even though they had Jay and the weapon wheel, we're not friends. No, we weren't. Although it sounds like, especially from what Jared has said, that the mouse just, it's not a problem. If you play keyboard and mouse, that wouldn't have been a problem. You lost an entire D&D group to Dark Souls? Oh no, in League of Legends. Well, I can understand your frustration, your vengeance, your fury with the games. That is a good way to put it. Less than meh. Less than meh. I tried to play, after playing Bloodborne, I said, alright, I'm going to go back and I'm going to play Dark Souls 2 with a whip. I'm going to play Dark Souls 2 with a whip because I love Bloodborne with a cane. No, that was a bad plan. I forgot how bad the whips were in Dark Souls 1 and 2. Whack! Just one little whack. Just can't do anything. But, the first Dark Souls, maybe it's a little cheesy, but if you get the right armament, I mean, if you're light enough, and you put enough points in, and which ring is it? The wood grain ring? The flip ring. The acrobatic ring. Oh, man. Yeah, cheers, Jared. Catch you a little later. Glad you made it for the end. Yeah, I've never played, well, I haven't played any RTS games in a long time, but I haven't played any of the competitive MOBAs. None of them. Dark Wood Grain. Yeah, that was it. I love that thing. I love that thing. It made me so happy when I found that. I went grinding my character out until I had the right stats to be able to use it. So at some point, I'm sure we'll even play that. Even Dark Souls 2, at some point. I have an open game going. I picked up the Scholar of the First Sin update on PS4. I thought I'd check it out. I don't know what I was thinking. I wish I had the money back right now, to be honest. But I have an open playthrough there, Rapier and Whip, and it's okay. It's okay. But it was pretty meh. Pretty meh. Haven't played Demon Souls. I haven't played it. So we've got Demon Souls one day, we've got Dark Souls 1, and Bloodborne. If we play it tonight, let's see, how's the poll doing? Maybe we're not playing Bloodborne. It's only slightly tipped towards Bloodborne. And we're gonna play other games, like BioShock 2 is definitely gonna get played. So is 1, so is Infinite. So is Minerva's Den. I've never played Minerva's Den. It's supposed to be a fantastic piece of DLC. Example of what DLC should be. It's what I've always heard. All nice long credits they've got here. Yeah, I love the story in BioShock 2. It doesn't get enough credit. Lamb is fantastic. It is. They're unique. And even 2. 2 gets a rep for just being a rehash of the first one. No, you get more tapes. You get more tapes, you get a great story, you get this father-daughter. There's been a lot of father-daughter stuff lately, but I don't think there was back when BioShock 2 came out. It was pretty unique. I was a little worried about playing as a big daddy. How fun could that be? They made it fun. They made it fun. Yeah, and a lot of hate for Infinite. Which I don't share, but I understand. They changed the game mechanically so much that people who would not be comfortable with that, how could they like the game? How could they like it with how it was mechanically so altered if you were set on your ways the way it had been? But the story was great. And if you could let go of it being a different style of combat, I think it was worth playing. As many QTEs as the Order, how is that possible? I managed to dodge that bullet so far. No one has told me the Order is worth playing, not a person. Yeah, Infinite I played a few times, but the DLC, since it was so late coming out, I've only played the DLC once. What's happening, Frost? How are you doing? Just talking about other games as we watch the credits, wait for our ending. Wait for our ending, whatever that might be. That game gave me chills, to be honest. Infinite did, with its dialogue and with the environments. First time when you're coming off the whatever it is, the little rocket, your little personal, yeah. Anyways, coming out into that church, and then coming out into Columbia. The first time the junket rises with the barbershop quartet singing God Only Knows. Oh boy. I'm worried I don't want to skip them, Bionics. I would speed them up if I felt I could safely. I'm a little worried about skipping them accidentally, skipping the ending. How much more can it be? We've been talking for 10, 15 minutes of ending already. I have played Dead Space 1. I never finished it. After the... We're going to play Dead Space sometime. I have all 3. And the first one I really liked. I got as far as that large boss battle. I think it's the end of Chapter 6. Where... I'm not sure I remember this right, but the boss is in the middle. And it's a large... what is it? It's almost like a stadium. It's not a stadium, but whatever it is. And you have to run around the boss as you're fighting. That was a great fight. That was a good boss fight, if I remember right. So I've never played... you know what? That's not true. I've played Outlast for about 5 minutes. I have Outlast. Lamia has suggested Daylight. She wants to see Daylight sometime. We'll probably check that out. Outlast I've got. And I'm not good at survival horror. So it'll be interesting when I try those. I will probably be a terrible survival horror player. I don't have a lot of experience hiding under things. Battery camera mechanics is going to make me a little crazy. I have not played the pre-sequel. Oops, sorry, not the camera there. I moved my camera a bit today. Apparently I moved it again just now. Borderlands 2. I've never played the first one, and I've played Borderlands 2 a couple times. I liked Gage. I liked the Necromancer. Terribly inaccurate, but just wham, wham, wham with a pistol everywhere. That was a blast. So, survival horror is one of those genres I'm not good at, but I'm going to be playing on stream anyways. A lot of what I want to do on Twitch is break my own molds. I'm boring. I can be really boring, and I want to do more exciting things. So, I might play games one way. We're going to play them not just that way. Wolfenstein. I didn't get the DLC, the recent pack. But I do have Wolfenstein. The newer one. Yeah, Bionics, what do you think of the pre-sequel? Was it worth it? I did not pick it up. I saw the Humble Bundle too, but the Humble Bundle that just passed, they had a coupon, right? They weren't... Pre-sequel wasn't part of the Humble Bundle, but a 75% off coupon was. Ending time. Jump, dude. Jump! Or don't jump. He lived. He lived. Lucky guy. Well, look on his face suggests he's not so lucky after all, but what do you see? Your village has been slaughtered, okay. Big army. So, the two kings divided the land, and then another army moves in, huh? The Black Ones cometh. Yeah, so much for dividing that little piece of land. The world as we know it nears its end, yet the past remains the key to the future. Yeah, Darky, I don't know if you disappeared for a while, or if you were joking, but that was it. That was the end. That was The Witcher 2. We sided with Yorvith. We saved Triss, not Saskia. However it will be viewed, we took mercy on Saskia the Dragon. Whether or not that's how other people see it, that's what we did. And for some reason, we let Letho go at the end. We were spoiling for that fight the whole time, and we let him go. Yeah, the opening's fantastic. I've watched it a few times. I like it. And since we didn't fight Letho, the dragon was the last fight. And like the other big creature fights, it ended with a cutscene. Not only that, but the dragon only really took 6 hits. About 6 hits. 6 hits and a cutscene, a quick time cutscene, just like the boxing. That's how the dragon died. Quick, push X. Now wait. Quick, push Y. Now wait. Quick, push A. Okay, you're done. That's the boss. That's the dragon. And if we're going to play Wild Hunt on PlayStation instead of PC, we'll have to use... it was like the tapestry that BioWare did. If there's a way to pick our previous choices, we'll have to decide if we choose them accurately or mess with things. I think we'll try to be accurate. Live with our choices. As we have done from the very beginning, we're living with all our choices, good, bad, and horribly ugly. Well, no, I didn't know. How would I know that Triss wouldn't have died either way? Well, I know now, but, so, that brings the second Witcher to a close. Check a couple things here. Or see what we're going to be playing next. Alright, so 3 votes for Bloodborne, including my own, which is a little cheesy. 2 votes for BioShock 2, which we'll play anyways. Question is, what do we start right now? In-game conversation. Okay. And some of us that did. we've gotten muddled plenty through this. I know Jared and Bionics have been a little frustrated as I get names wrong, or I assume you're frustrated when I mix up characters and completely miss the boat on something. Have a conversation. We were just given some information and then we have a conversation as if we missed it entirely. Yeah, that's our Geralt. That's our Geralt. So it looks like it's going to be Bloodborne. Let me, it's good music, but let's go ahead and ramp that up. It's looking like it's going to be Bloodborne. And, well, Bloodborne is not dialogue heavy. I wouldn't call it simple, but it is not dialogue heavy. And it's a fantastic game. And if you're not familiar with Bloodborne or Dark Souls games, I'd love to share it with you. But I love Bloodborne. It's fantastic. If we do Bloodborne tonight and it's looking like that, we're going to play with a cane. And the cane is one of my favorite weapons in any game ever created. I'm going to... You can carry on with that. I'm going to not look at chat for a minute. In fact, let's do this. Let's do this. I could just start it right away, but I think it makes more sense to quickly bring the stream down, change the title, bring it back up. That way there'll be separate past broadcasts, separate VODs saved. So I'm going to do that very quickly. I'm going to bring the stream down, change the title, bring the stream back up with a getting set up page, and then I'm going to take a 5-10 minute break. While that's going, we'll just have a splash screen up for 10 minutes. Anyone who wants to come back, that would be awesome. And if you're taking off because you don't like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, I apologize. I love Bloodborne, and this is going to be a blast. We're going to have some fun. I'm hoping to one-shot Rom. I'd like to one-shot half the bosses, but that won't happen. And well, if you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat. And if you have seen it, join me. We're going to have a good time with Bloodborne. Probably only going to take 2 nights or 3. So we'll play it tonight, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, and probably Friday. And then move on to something else. So thank you all for watching The Witcher 2. It has been a blast, even if a little frustrating. And stream's going to go down for a minute, come right back up, and then there'll be a 10-minute break. Stream will be up for the break. Well, thank you, Tyler, for saying so. And I will be right back in a minute here.